David Jacoby. We are Jalen Jacoby. Jalen, what is it that we do, though?
We give the people what they want.
The Queen, Maria Taylor, joins us later, and the Jazz get a much-needed win in Utah. But Jalen Rose, you know we're starting the show in Madison Square Garden, where the Hawks and the Knicks had game 2. It looked bad at first, and then that man, Julius Randle, turned the whole series around. Jalen, what do you think of the Knicks' big win?
Got a color TV so I can see the Knicks play basketball. And we questioning who run the city. That was in the message. The first nationally rap song that made mainstream happen for rap music. And for the Knicks, it wasn't poetic like a rap verse. It was physical. Defense is the calling card that they used in order to win game 2. In particular, Julius Randle. How about when he was guarding someone, they were 0 for 15 being guarded by Julius Randle. Normally when you struggle offensively and you had the kind of numbers that he had all season, you come back and you try to shoot yourself out of the slump. He did it with effort, and that embodies this Tom Thibodeau team. This is what Chuck D was talking about, and this is why New York Knicks fans, you see Spike Lee on the sideline doing his best dance. That's what they like. You know, I know, playing against the Knicks, they want to see effort. That's why Charles Oakley, beyond his relationship with Mr. Dolan, James Dolan, obviously, and rest in peace, Anthony Mason, and those kind of players resonate with the history of the Knicks, that level of toughness, and obviously Derrick Rose was terrific, scoring the entire game.
It really was, Jalen. As a die-easy Knicks fan, this didn't look good in the first half. Like, it was, we were staring at it going 0-2 at home, right in the face. And then Tom Thibodeau did something really smart. He said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put Derrick Rose in there because I know what I'm going to get from him. I'm going to put Taj Gibson because I know what I'm going to get from him. And because when that man, Ice Trae, gets in the game and he starts scoring, it gets really scary. He is a terrifying person to root against because he can shoot from anywhere, he can play make for others, and he can get to the rack. But it was Derrick Rose and Taj Gibson just with that veteran presence, that postseason experience, the familiarity with Tom Thibodeau that really ignited this team. And someone rebooted Julius Randle in the third quarter. Someone turned him off and turned him back on again, and the old Julius Randle is back. And I'm so excited to see where the rest of this series goes as it heads to Atlanta. What do you think is next with this series?
All I know is this. I better see my guy Gucci at a Hawks game.
Oh, you will.
Because you know he the king of the brr with a Trae Young jersey on. That's mandatory. Friend of the program, holla at your boy Gucci. I expect to see a long series. That's what I anticipate. I picked the Hawks, you picked the Knicks. Let's see when they return if Bogdanović and Trae Young are on the floor together more. Because in game 2, the team really struggled with both of those guys off the floor. Expect Nate McMillan to make that adjustment.
Yeah, whenever Trae Young is on the bench, it's a completely different team on the floor. Jalen, that game was exciting. It had energy. It had passion. The other Eastern Conference playoff game last night, not exactly. The Sixers made easy work of the Wizards for the second game in a row. This looks like a series that is leading towards a sweep. However, outside of the action on the floor, at one point, Russell Westbrook got hurt. There you see the injury, and he's walking towards the tunnel, and you know by now, a Philly fan poured popcorn on Russell Westbrook. Here is what Russell had to say about the incident after the game.
To be blatantly honest, man, it is getting out of hand, especially for me. Just the amount of disrespect, the amount of just fans just doing whatever they want to do. It's out of pocket, man.
Jalen, the update on this is that the fan that threw the popcorn on Westbrook has been banned indefinitely from the Wells Fargo Center and had their season tickets revoked. What do you think about the incident and the ensuing punishment?
I think I need a stronger punishment and I need more ownership. You said banned from the Wells Fargo arena. I think that fan should be banned from all NBA sanctioned events. You said season ticket revoked indefinitely. They should not be able to attend NBA functions in perpetuity. Oh, and by the way, since this is a season ticket holder, They clearly know who it is. And so you know what else I would like them to do? Reveal who he is and acknowledge this person who not only threw the popcorn, but also why he got banned is what the term should be. Now, for this behavior, so many times you heard Kyrie Irving allude to it, getting ready for what may happen in Boston. We've seen incidents time and time again, including involving Russell Westbrook, where he hears names or curse words or racist things being said to him. Now, buying a ticket does not give you the license to throw the bird up at Russell Westbrook. Now, the NBA fan experience is the absolute best in sports. You just saw that fan standing on the court. You see people sitting courtside. That isn't happening at baseball games and at NFL games. This is why the fan experience has elevated the sport, the popularity of the players, whether you talk endorsements or salaries or even social media. The NBA fan experience is outstanding, and I don't want to paint a broad stroke that all fans behave like this. However, when some fan does behave like this, I need to see a stronger punishment. That's what I would like to have happen by the NBA.
Because, as you mentioned, NBA fans are so close to the action, and I've been lucky enough to sit courtside at a couple games in my life, there is an unwritten social contract that you sign when you are that close to the action, and that is simply be responsible. Don't be a child. Be mature. It's one thing to boo and jeer the opposing team, but when you get physical, when you pour popcorn on somebody, and you see all these incidents involving Russell Westbrook and fans, every single time it is never, ever, ever Russell Westbrook's fault. These fans are taking it way too far. And one thing I do want to mention is a lot of people are sort of pointing at the Philly aspect of this. This is not a Philadelphia problem. It is that man's problem, whose identity will come out, but it's definitely that man's problem. But Jalen, a question for you. Why do you think all these incidents, it seems like a lot of this happens to Russell Westbrook often? What do you think the targeting of Westbrook is like?
Well, he's a polarizing player for a lot of people because he doesn't fit a one-size-fit-all model. He averaged a triple-double for the 4th time, and he's not considered cute and cuddly. He's not smiling all of the time. He's not doing every interview. And Jacoby, I had that happen to me before. Leaving MSG, a fan literally, as you see the red overpass, that doesn't exist or didn't exist at MSG in the late 90s. I had a fan literally throw a towel straight in my face. And so I tried to jump up there and grab the fan and snatch the fan down. And I would not have cared what would have happened once that fan hit the ground. And so it's unfortunate that these instances constantly involve someone that looks like you opposing someone that looks like me while I'm at work. And that's why it's important that we respect one another, and buying a ticket doesn't allow you to disrespect a player.
Two things. Number one, the only reason you never pulled that fan down in Madison Square Garden is because you can't jump. You couldn't jump up and grab him. And number two is when you say nothing should be thrown at a performer, you've obviously never seen my stand-up career. Moving on to the other game we haven't discussed yet, and that is a much-needed win for the Jazz in Utah against the Grizzlies. Ja Morant did his thing, but it was a team effort from Donovan Mitchell and company to get a much-needed win to even the series at 1-1. What was the key to the Jazz performance?
We got the Jazz. Weren't they conducting themselves like an orchestra? They had their conductor back in Donovan Mitchell. And all of a sudden, their offense was firing on all cylinders. Playoff highs and points and made threes and everybody knocking down shots and Mike Conley triple-double getting numbers. 6th man of the year, Jordan Clarkson continuing to attack, Rudy Gobert scoring the basketball. This is why the Utah Jazz have been the best team in basketball the entire season.
Yeah, I mean, this is the formula for a Jazz victory. 7 Jazz players in double figures. Contributions from everybody. The other side of the ball, you have Ja Morant. Ja Morant scored how many points, Jalen Rose? How many points did Ja Morant score?
47.
47
and as a matter
in
of
one
fact,
basketball game. I mean, he is a superstar in the making, but when you look at the other side of the ball, you've got 7 players in double figures, and because of foul trouble and other reasons, Ja Morant just didn't have enough help to get over the hump. But I'm excited to watch this series, as I think it'll be much